The president keeps trying to convince Americans that immigrants are not like us, that they're criminals crossing the border to kill us, invaders. As an immigration lawyer, I can tell you that, like most else he says, is just not true. Immigrants are often people who didn't have a choice to leave their countries and their homes. As a Mexican American who just happened to be born on this side of the border, I can tell you they are human beings seeking safety and a future. Last year, I met Nilda, a young mother from Honduras, who fled her country with her son after surviving attempted rape, death threats, and abuse so brutal she needed dental surgery. She left everything behind to get her and her child to safety. When she arrived at the border, though, her son was forcibly taken from her. As she pled for her child, a Border Patrol agent coldly told her, "This is what happens when you come to my country." Over the next 2 months, Nilda was moved from jail to jail throughout Texas, then flown to New York City, where she was told she'd see her son, only to be taken to another detention facility for 2 weeks. She began to lose hope. She thought he was dead. Then finally, one day, she was released and reunited with her son. I met Nilda just minutes after she got her child back. I was there with a bilingual social worker from my office to advocate for her and provide trauma counseling and advice in those early moments. She was happy, but still in shock at everything that had happened to her. The really painful part, though, I knew that her struggle was not going to be over, that her story in some ways was just beginning, as she and her son were going to have to do their best to survive while they waited in the United States to see if they'd be allowed to stay. There's been a lot of media attention on people seeking asylum at the border and the cold, cruel conditions of immigration detention, and rightly so, but we don't always think of what happens next. Today, there are over 300,000 immigrants who are seeking asylum in the United States and struggling to survive while they wait patiently, months or even years, for their claims to be decided in court. Asylum seekers can stay inside the United States, but they can't get jobs to pay for rent, food, or childcare without an official work permit that takes months to obtain. They often can't get driver's licenses or have access to health care. They want to support their families and contribute, but it can be hard while they wait. There's also one other thing most asylum seekers do not have: a lawyer. Unlike in criminal cases, immigrants facing deportation don't have a right to appointed counsel for what may be a life or death decision. Even if they're children, if they can't read, if they don't understand the judge, or are incredibly traumatized by their journey. The numbers are clear. People with lawyers in immigration court are up to 15 times more likely to win their cases. Trust me, immigration law is really difficult and complex. I've specialized in immigration law for over 10 years, and I still sometimes get confused. But every day, people are forced to represent themselves against a trained ICE lawyer and get deported without ever knowing that they may have had strong cases or qualified for asylum or permanent residence. This is what happens when you come to my country. We can do better. We can welcome immigrants and protect refugees. And we can listen to their stories, and you can join us. Brooklyn Defender Services and Raíces have launched a campaign to raise support for immigrants living here whose cases are open and who need a little help to get by while they wait. We're going to help people pay for necessities, application fees, and legal services. And we have a petition calling for a right to counsel for people in immigration court. Go to whiletheywait.org and learn more. Join the movement to demand due process and extend a welcoming hand to people seeking safety in our country. And help us raise awareness of this often overlooked community of future Americans, so that fairness, empathy, and humanity is what happens when you come to my country.